Up until this point, do we have any comments or thoughts before we continue with the discussions?
Maybe you're going to mention this, Larry, coming up, but it's interesting that the three friends are very silent when Job is just, they're suffering, and he is suffering very significantly. But when he, in chapter 3, does some kind of complaining, which isn't anywhere near the extreme of what Job's wife wanted him to do in chapter 2, but might have been a little coming in, it's at that point that the friends kind of try to fix things with good intentions after the flesh. And so maybe you look at someone like Johnny Erickson. She's been wonderful at just not being bitter about what happened to her. And so people don't even try to speak to her to say, boy, do you deal with bitterness with God a lot? Or maybe they did years ago. I don't think they do that too much now because it's clearly not where she is. And I'm not saying I could have done a tenth as well as Job did with that, but it was interesting that chapter 3, which was really how he felt, he may have entertained a thought or two and got him into a direction totally understandable, but probably falling off perfection. And that's what gave the friends the right to hearken to their considerably greater imperfection in trying to fix the situation, but not in ways that are breathed by God.
Amen. Thank you, Andy. Those are great thoughts. Great points to make. Anyone else want to share?
I was going to mention this. I was going to mention 4 or 5 things here at the end as sort of a closing thing or what have you, and I think I should just read them now because I was making some notes, and then I was doing some reading, and then I got some from other reading, and then I added to them, and I'll just read 4 or 5 things because I think they're worth thinking about as the conversation continues versus at the end, I guess. And I'll just start with the dark moments in our life will only last so long as it's necessary for God to accomplish his purpose in us. That's one. Trusting God.
Amen.
Trusting God means looking beyond, and sort of what you were saying, Larry, about the food and the loaves, and not just doing it for the food and then moving on, the faith. But trusting God means looking beyond what we can see to what God sees. Next one. Adversity is a bridge to a deeper relationship with God. And we see that throughout the whole book. Well, anyway, the next one. God assumes full responsibility for our needs when we obey him. And then the one that's really at the end of the book, my last one is brokenness in us is God's requirement for his maximum usefulness in us. So he'll break us, but if we, going back to the other one I mentioned, if we obey him, then and stay faithful, then he'll maximize our usefulness. So it's I don't know. I just wanted to know.
Great thought.
Amen.
Psalm 51:17. This may have occurred to Larry and the others. Just to corroborate what John just said, the sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, you will not despise.
Amen. John, those points were beautiful. I mean, I'd love you to write that up.
Well,
that's a great summation.
Yeah, and one of my other ones I had, which is really part of that adversity, and I tried to shorten it, which, because I can babble, as you know, but I got a bunch of. God will not, or he won't allow us to be tested, which we see this throughout the whole Bible. But He won't allow us to be tested beyond our ability to withstand whatever adversity confronts us. And He always, I mean, we see that over and over again. He pushes us, but He knows how far to push us, knowing, and that goes back to the adversity is a bridge to a deeper relationship with Christ or God. So that's that. But yes, I will, Larry.
Amen. I love what you say there, and there's a certain phrase that people use, and I wholeheartedly disagree with it, and that is God never gives you more than you can handle. And I don't think that's what you said, John, because indeed what God dealt Job was far more than he could handle. Yet he knew Job's limits. So he puts us in that position that we're given more than we can handle so that we can rely on God. So we're truly tested and we rely on God, meaning no one else can help us in these situations except for God. He puts us in those positions so that we have full reliance on God. So we're given more than we can handle, but not too much that we give up. So I like that.
Yeah, but you made a point saying that He gave Job more than he could handle, and I think that's the whole purpose of the book of Job, is to the fact that if you want to just casually say, oh, God will never give you more than you can handle, well, why don't you read the book of Job, because it can really drive the point home to the extreme.
Right.
And that is driving all the points I said home to the extreme, and that's what the content of the book is. And I know in the beginning we went on and on proving that Job was really a person. I personally never thought he was a made-up person. I always thought he was a real person. My challenge, which I have overcome here, is, why did he do that to Job? Well, now, I mean, so it was not a fake person. It was always a real person. When did he live? Who knows? What have you? I mean, that was great educational and historical information. But it really, there's Job, put it this way, if you read the rest of the Bible and you get all these little messages, and then you really want to drive all those messages home, go read the book of Job, and now it really drives it home. It's sort of how I was thinking. Anyway.
Amen. Thank you. Any other thoughts or comments?
I just wanted to comment about in chapter 2, verse 8, where it says, after he was, inflicted with the sores and, his body was just broken down. And it said, and he took a piece of broken pottery with which to scrape himself while he sat in the ashes. So, if you think about it, well, I'm thinking of it like, okay, here's a piece of pottery that was made. The potter constructed it, and it was purposeful for what it was when he made it. Now here it is broken, and it's provided to Job to more or less, kind of comfort himself in his anguish and in his, it's just funny how something that's in man's eyes broken could be used to help him. It's like God's way, like it's not as all is not lost.
Amen. I love that, Jack. What a mind you have to pick that out. Even a broken pot has a use. That's wonderful. Thank you. And we can say the same about us. We're all broken. We don't have anything put together. We don't have anything figured out, but God can still use us. So I love that.